Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm so glad that you're here today. Today I have an exciting swatch and review demo for you of the Tombow Holiday Palette. This holiday palette comes with 10 individual colors, no blender included, so you're actually getting 10 colors. And it's just such a fun way to get ready for the holidays. It gives you a really nice, well-rounded palette because it gives you those traditional colors you need, along with some fun pops thrown in to throw you more in that wintry direction and not so much the Christmas holiday direction. So I will be showing you all of the swatches as well as a few demos on how I would use these markers to create some holiday designs. Now, if you're not familiar with Tombow dual brush pens, really quick, I'm just gonna give you a very short rundown on what you can expect from these markers. They're double-ended markers, hence the dual brush pen name. And one side is a very large brush marker of a felt tip, which is really nice and it works wonderfully. And the other side gives you a bullet tip, which is thin and a monoline type of weight. You can use that to write and draw letters and then use the other side to do your brush lettering, but both are really handy and I use both sides quite a bit. Also, something to keep a note about Tombow dual brush pens is that they are water-based and you can use these like watercolor. You simply draw a little bit of these markers onto a non-porous surface like plastic or porcelain and pick it up with a water brush or a paintbrush, and you can use them like watercolors. So these make a great option for people who like to paint on the go but don't like the hassle of taking watercolor tubes or watercolor pans and a bunch of water with you. These work excellently as watercolors and I use them quite a bit in that way as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the swatches and demo. I'm just going to be showing you the markers themselves as they are so that you can get an idea of whether or not these markers are for you this holiday season. All right, so let's get right into these swatches. The first color we have is yellow gold in number 026. This is a really great neutral to have in this set. It's a color I really enjoy that is very reminiscent of gold but can also be used as a brown. Next we have a nice deep red in the shade wine red number 837. This is exactly the way it sounds. It reminds you of a nice red wine. It's a beautiful color with a really lovely gradient. Next we have our bright red or crimson in number 847. This is the bright red in the palette that makes you think exactly of Christmas, and it's a really beautiful color. Next we have gray green in number 228, and this is one of my all-time favorite greens from Tombow. I just love how it's muted. It gives you that wintry essence in the color itself. Next we have dark jade in number 177, and this is your really nice evergreen kind of shade. I really liked using this in wreaths and Christmas tree designs. Next we have hunter green, and this is an even deeper green that allows you to really winterize your designs as well. It's again a cool toned green that really gives you that wintry feeling. The next color we have is True Blue in number 526. This is a little bit unusual in a holiday palette, but I find that it allows you to make some really nice winter designs, and I really like it for that purpose. Next we have Burnt Sienna in number 947, and this is a really great color to ground some of your designs as well as provide that wood or forest element to your Christmas holiday designs. Next we have Light Sand in number 990, and this is one of those colors that seems a bit boring at first but ends up being quite useful in your designs as you move forward. It's a great blending tone and I find it to be very helpful. The last color we have is Lamp Black in number 925, and it's a very black color which allows you to use it all year round and also provides really strong contrast in your designs. So here's a quick look at the palette as a whole. As you can see, there's quite a bit of contrast, which makes this a very well-rounded palette. It also really allows you to go in that traditional holiday direction, like I said, along with some fun pops of color
to help you go more in a wintry direction. That being said, this is also a really great palette for the rest of the year. The greens are beautiful if you like to paint and draw botanicals, and the other colors complement that very well. So now we're just going to jump into a really quick demo of how I played with these colors to create some holiday doodles. I've used that first gray-green shade to create kind of a eucalyptus branch that doesn't actually look like eucalyptus. And then I used the hunter green and the dark jade colors to create those mini Christmas trees with the star on top with yellow gold. And then I took the two reds and I played with a little bit of that ribbon lettering technique, where basically you write your word in your mid-tone color or your light color, and then you come in with your darker color and just draw a little bit of color in as shadows wherever it would be a fold in that ribbon. And you can see here it does that really well. My personal ribbon lettering skills aren't great, but I could see how this would work really well for that. Then I took the lamp black pen just to write my sentiment, which is probably what I would do if I was doing some cards. And then I used my greens to create some holly leaves and the reds for my berries. I also drew a traditional bell with the light sand color, and like I said earlier, you can use these colors over top themselves to create contrast because they layer on themselves. I used yellow gold to create some of those shadows and a whimsical crack, and then I used my burnt sienna to create some branches with some light sand berries over top. I used the yellow gold just to create that indentation and make it look a little bit more realistic. Once again, I'm using that gray-green shade to create the base of a wreath, and I really like how these greens layer together to create a lot of dimension, as well as working well together because they tend to be on the cooler side. Next, I took that dark jade shade and layered more leaves over the top, and then the very last green I'll add is that hunter green to make it nice and full. As you can see, these greens work really well together to create a wreath that you could use in any of your designs all year long. Simply by making sure that you don't add anything like red or gold would make this work all year long regardless of the season. Next, I wanted to show how you can actually use the bullet tip to create doodles and also draw letters. So what I did was I wanted to create some traditional serif style, and I just used the bullet tip of that true blue color to create some basic letters to write out the word Noel for Christmas. I took that wine red shade and that yellow gold shade to create some berries and make it really holiday friendly. And I just love how all of these turned out. It was super easy. It put me in the right spirit for the holidays. And I would definitely recommend this palette to anyone who wants to create some holiday designs for their cards or for their lettering projects, any gifts that you'd want to give. I find that this is a really great palette, very well rounded and well balanced, but it's also something that I'll reach for the rest of the year because it gives you some great basics that I'll be using over and over again. The greens are fantastic since I love to draw botanicals. The yellow gold is such a great shade. The light sand is a great shade. Black you always need. And of course you need your browns and blues. So really the only thing that makes it truly holiday would really be the reds. And reds can always be adapted and paired with other colors to make them special the rest of the year. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're going to pick up this set or if you already have and what you're going to make with it. Be sure to subscribe and like this video and stick around for a while. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.